gotta get into the groove. You gotta get into the groove. It feels good. You know there ain't another girl like her in the city. No, you know she looks so good, but she ain't so pretty. I don't know why I feel this way, but I'm the right, she's driving insane. And don't you know you oughta pump the brakes? I can't tell you why don't you let it go. I'm the line and finally I'ma let you know you're somewhere in between my legs. Hey, you know there ain't another girl like her in the city. Yeah, you know she looks so good, but she ain't so pretty. I can't believe I wrote so long. With this whole time you riding me wrong. Don't you know you oughta take a risk, try your best, give it to me straight, and don't deny I don't wanna wait. We're at the end of the road.
That was disgusting. Oh my God, June. Oh.
Absolutely devastating.
He's actually in a really good spot for his teammates to watch over him and give him assistance, but no one really watching the main run-up. And oh, what a trophy system collateral kill!
Oh, they gotta get on the point. They gotta get on the point. They're gonna run out of time. Can they contest? They are with 1.4 seconds. And Phil is gonna go down. We are gonna be seeing him now. No, out of the point, and Wave Runners by the skin of their teeth are gonna be able to hold on.
Can he play from horse? Oh, holy! He's gonna get another one.
As Hoy will quick scope heavy.
But it's gonna not necessarily translate to control the bottom lane, as Legacy just being an absolute nuisance here with his team just taking such a back control here.
Team kill is gonna get hustled down to 2v2. They should have had the man up, and now Austin's gonna try to get one. He's gonna look for the double, can't quite get it. Zuxium, the last man alive, and now it's Zuxium trying to finish off the team. He's gonna stun in there, C1. One's gonna push out, it's gonna get taken out. Zuxium can finish it right here, 7 points left. Taking out another one more pushes out. He's gonna get taken out by his teammates, and that's gonna be Hype Esport taking map number 1.
I see it now, I see it now.
Hello and welcome, Call of Duty fans. We are here live, a little K7 League coming at you. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm joined today here with my man Brett FX. Casting with me, we got Connie down there in producer's box, producing away and making our jobs as casters just so much easier. We do appreciate that. Brett, how's life?
It is good. It is absolutely fantastic. I have to say, cannot complain on a night when you get to cast Call of Duty instead of going at work or any other number of things that I could be doing. But yeah, should be a pretty decent match. We are going to be watching Valkyrie versus Living Nightmare, as you said. And Valkyrie is a pretty dominant team. They dominated last week against, I believe it was Valiant, although it was a different roster. So that is going to be an interesting possible rematch maybe in the future that we could see to see how that does pan out. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty decent map pool tonight with a whole bunch of Garrison, a whole bunch of exciting, choke pointy map. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
You're turning negatives into a positive. I like that, Brett. You're going to go far in this business. Triple dose, 3 up of the Garrison. Raid will come through for our map 4 if we get there for the second hardpoint. And rounding things out at the Miami Search and Destroy. We'll just leave that statement there. Valkyrie Gaming taking on Living Nightmare. Like you said, Valkyrie really making a really high-flying performance here in the K7 already. I'm going to run you off some of these numbers from our last week. This is a 3-1 victory that Valkyrie took against Valiant Gaming, a game that I did get to carry. The Battle of the V's, I think we called it. Prodigy came through with a 1.3 KD, 51-39 on the kills, deaths, a boatload of engagements, and obviously a very positive KD ratio. 1.05 for the man Oblivion. We're going to be jumping around here a little bit because I have these in order from top to bottom. Oblivion 1.03, 78 for 74 across these 4 games. Scoop 1.03, 75 for 73. Urifa coming through. Back of the pack, but still putting it in his work. 82 or 0.82 at 67 kills for 82 deaths. Again, everybody, this is across 4 games total. So 2 hard points and a control were thrown in with a search and destroy. So given that there's a second hard point, I think it makes more sense that some of these kills and deaths numbers are very, very high.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that was a very kill heavy team anyways, as you said in the respawn. So probably going to be seeing more of that. I know Prodigy is a damn good player, and we're going to be hopefully seeing some good stuff out of him tonight. So definitely looking forward to that. On our next roster, we are going to be looking over at Living Nightmare. And these guys right here, they did end up taking down Swear Society in week number 1. It is going to be Nefarious with, let's take a look over here, a 0.84 KD. Then we're going to have Cynical. Oh my God, this is going to be terrible. I'm going to be butchering these names.
Something.
Cynical, which is going to be a 0.98 KD in there. And then we have Turbo, which is 1.38, and Exert, who had a 1.33. So 2 of the players doing really, really good in the KD departments, being able to really lock down some of those kills. Again, going 3-1 versus Swear Society in week number 1. So they got to be loving that. But yeah, heading on in to this first match. Have you actually cast either of these rosters? I know you did. Yeah, I know you cast the Valkyrie, but have you cast this one?
Living Nightmare, not of this 4-stack, not with Nefarious at the helm when that captain position, Osinkel, Turboed, and the last man over there, Exert. No, I have not casted this 4-stack together, but these are players that a lot of ways don't need that much introduction if you're familiar with the Call of Duty AM scene. Now, the big difference we're looking at here, both of these teams took it 3-1. That's not the difference. Both of these teams played 2 hard points, not the difference, but the difference comes through with how individual players performed. Cynical at 0.98 is not bad by any means. Nefarious at 0.84, not bad by any means, but the simple fact of the matter is that Valkyrie players in their 3-1 victory came through and put up much more kills, and there was only 1 player with a negative. I think that was Urifa, and that at the end of the day, that was again something like a 0.98, and other players were really, really popping off. We're going to see how that really affects this game as they come through. But first, and of course, we want to give a shout out to our partners.
Whoa.
Partners. There's no S in there until the end. Again, that's Gamers Resort, Dropshot Data, GitGudHosts, Rogue Energy, as well as Innovated Gear, and man, there's one more who does our transitions and things, and it's not coming to mind right now. I'll take some inspiration from above if anybody's got any, as far as our video editing services.
It's a tough one here. Yeah. So we do appreciate that help on the way.
I didn't quite catch that, but it's all good. We'll get our partners shouted out appropriately as we're coming into this next. Garrison first. Valkyrie taking on Living Nightmare once again. In case you're just joining us, DesignByYou. There you go. It's very.
I blame Hero.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
It fixes everything.
Literally, I don't think he's even here right now or today. But given that he's a leader, everything rests on his shoulders, right?
It starts at the top.
Exactly.
So it's anyways. Yeah, we're going to be here on Garrison first for our hard point. This is, as we said before, very long, kind of a thin map. So we're going to be seeing a lot of choke pointy style play. There's a lot of really, really nasty spawn traps that could happen on this map. We are going to be seeing potentially some streaks that are going to be coming on out. So definitely looking forward to that, as we do see that P1 hill starting to get contested right away. And typically on this map, we don't really see a whole lot of time being taken here on P1, as a lot of teams are just going to be very, very contest heavy. But this is looking pretty decent right out of the gate. We got about 9 seconds or so there for Living Nightmare, and both teams are going to be setting up here really nicely to try and capitalize on getting a few more here.
Yeah, so again, well, we kind of started this one off observing the Prodigy up top, the AR player up on floating, and now everybody's attention once again rotated on to the second hard point. The second much easier than the first. I think there's a player, something like that with another quote in it. I'm not 100% sure, but Valkyrie coming up on top so far. They take the next 4 seconds. They will have about half a minute on this moving into second.
Yeah, we do see Prodigy. Well, he's trying to get the first hit into that P2 hill. Not going to be happening, though, as he does get taken down. So that is going to be Living Nightmare with a nice little clear. And we'll see if they're going to be able to hold off on the second wave of attack that is going to be coming on in just a few seconds. But really nice placement there from Exert, being able to control that top green position. And that will allow them a little bit more control, as you do see him just snapping on those heads. Not quite going to be able to get any of those kills, but a lot of damage going down. Oblivion picks up 2. That is huge. Nefarious not able to capitalize as Cynical comes on out with a huge 2 kills to save control of the point, and that is what you want to see.
That really is. Looked like Prodigy was able to wrap things up on a bow in the end. Nefarious trying to get something going, monitoring, playing that troll over the bridge on that choke point. Not going to happen when 2 players are there. Nefarious making that the other way around, and the third hard point is where everybody turns their attention to.
Yeah, and I think the important thing is that we are going to be seeing the rotation. It's looking like it might go over in favor here of Living Legends, as Nefarious is going to be able to pick up one, as well as Turboed taking down Oblivion there on that flank. So this is looking fantastic here on this rotation for the New Hill. They are going to be able to take the lead in this game, so they are loving this. They've been able to push out. They control the spawns for the time being, as this new wave is going to be setting on up to attack on this P3 section. And Nefarious is just looking fantastic here as well, as he's going to be able to lock down a second one. He was on a 3-kill streak there. Unfortunately, does get taken down, as finally Valkyrie is going to be able to get that break in the hill.
Well, so I think that was Nefarious there towards the end. He has attention on hill when maybe should have just turned it towards spawns. So far, it seems like the Valkyrie players are kind of, taking like a negative effect from not necessarily not checking corners, but just having a little bit less of map when it comes in the terms of map awareness. Living Legends players so far have been slaying out, and this difference is surmountable in every way.
Absolutely, it is. Prodigy now is going to be set up, trying to make this attack happen on P4, and he's going to be able to pick up at least one, as Exert is clearing out the point. Not quite able to hang on in there for too long, though. But I have to say, pretty good contention going on still for both teams. Typically, the games that I've seen so far, we have a much bigger lead here. So this is very nice to see both of these guys just going back and forth. Do want to point out, though, that we are going to be seeing a 4-kill streak here from Urifa, as he's finally starting to get things going on for his guys. Oh, as soon as I call it out, he ends up getting taken down. But that is just the way things are going, as Prodigy comes on in and cleans it up with a nice 2 kills. Once again, clearing that out, allowing his teammates to jump back on in as we're about to hit that 100-point mark.
So this map so far, Brett, has really been marked by individual players and their pop-off capabilities, taking out 2, sometimes not really being able to live through that. We have seen a 4 streak so far. I believe that's the longest, but we'll be looking towards this next hard point, the last in rotations here. Prodigy from the top. Prodigy getting absolutely domed, taking a little bit too much off the top.
Yeah, that is not good there for his team, but you know what? Prodigy is, well, he's actually struggling a little bit. You know, we heard a lot about him coming on into this match, or at least I did from some other casters and some other players on Twitter. And he's only 12-10 right now, and struggling just a bit maybe, but we'll see if he heats up later on in the game. Still, they do have control. Oblivion comes around over here for that P1 control. Is he going to be able to pick up any kills? He is taking down Turbo, and Urifa on the other side also going to be able to pick up a kill of his own. So this is looking like a complete wipe that just happened. We're seeing a flip happening over here, as we do have the trash time now starting to go over into Living Nightmare, but will they be able to actually get anything on this P1 hill?
Yes, excuse me. Nobody's really popping off or playing really poorly here so far, outside of Turbo. Turbo was coming in, well, into this last death, at 10-6, so some fantastic stuff and some really flashy plays up close so far. As it is, Prodigy now pushing that to 16-11 and a 4 streak, so tying the longest in this stream game so far. As it is, Valkyrie's looked like they've been trying to really get a grip, a hold on this game, momentum and otherwise. As it is, not going to happen. Scoop drops everything into the walls. Nefarious going to take advantage of his really clean position on that. Takes him to the house.
That's definitely a frustrating position to be in for sure. And yeah, he does end up getting taken down. So we do see just a really big lead developing here for Valkyrie as they are continuing to control this P1 hill. We'll see the rotations coming on in. For the time being, it is going to be Living Nightmare who has controlled it with a nice 2 kills there into the back from Cynical. And that will give them, at the very least, that initial control. But number 5 there, that's going to be Nefarious, who has an opportunity to cut down these rotations that are going to be coming on in. And he is going to be able to pick up 1, though he does get traded out pretty quickly after that. And the wave of kills are going to be coming on in. Nice pickup there from Prodigy as he does take 1 off of the head glitch. It's going to be up to Turbo here to try and hold on as this company is going to be coming on in for those reinforcements.
Yeah, a quick shout out to our producer, our little like panoramic scrolling screen of death on this one all the way across. I really do appreciate that. Looking at number 6, Cynical and Nefarious have really been trying to do a whole lot. That's Cynical, number 5, taking out a 2-piece from the top. Exert still on top of this. Living Nightmare are not, they're not like so far away. They're within 1 hard point situation is what I'm saying. Anything less than, I'd say 50, full 60 is really not doable so much. But what we're going to jump into now, little listen in action. We'll go with Living Nightmares first. We'll be back with you guys with the casting in just a second.
I'm gonna get your front.
Yeah,
Fucking go, guys. I'm holding your front. Don't worry about your tools.
Caution, bridge, 2 bridge.
Yuri's a weak, Yuri's a weak.
Yo, I got your tools.
I'm gonna get your tools up spawn.
I'm flashing in front, Yurifa weak. Should be all hitting the right side. They're all hitting weak, right side. Yurifa's weak.
Yeah, they're hitting the back, guys.
And back garage too. Just play your life, Sin. Just play your life.
I got one. One mid lane, one mid lane. Yep. Mid lane, 2 mid lane. One's weak.
Mid lane weak. Prodigy weak and armored.
One's 18, one's 18. Prodigy dead. Oblivion dead. One shot, Oblivion and tools. Nice.
Come on, you guys got this.
Get this time.
Let's fucking go. Come on, keep it up, boys.
I'm picking up bridge right now. Got one bridge.
Got you. I'm gonna get this time.
Wonderful. Some high flying, really fast comms for your Living Legends squad, or Living Nightmare squad, and as it comes with a lead as well. So really coming off fantastic stuff for them.
Yeah, you know, they were looking a little bit rough there on the rotation there to P5, but it looks like that P2 hill got them right back into it. They had almost full control of it, and yet their comms definitely are just screaming out through there. They are energized and ready to go. I wonder if they're going to be able to keep up that energy throughout the entirety of tonight, as right now we are going to be seeing Turbo just trying to mow his way into it. He picks up Prodigy there, looking for the pistol kill. Not going to be finding anything just yet as Yurifa. Oh, he does get taken down. So, yeah, really good entry coming on in as Turbo is going to be able to get that time here in this point, and they are going to be able to first team to crack that 200-point mark as they're just going to be furthering out this lead. You know, about 15 seconds left in here. That's going to put them in really good distance here towards the win. So they got to be loving this.
Yeah, again, full 60 is nigh unto impossible, but with Valkyrie now breaking into that, they have made that a little bit more possible. This next hard point could be the end if either of these teams do shut it down. Score difference of about 19 right now is next to nothing. Just like that, though, I think, yeah, 2 or 3 seconds of contest for the Valkyrie is all is needed, or from the Living Nightmare squad against Valkyrie is all that is needed to make this not a 1 hard point situation. Math is hard. Valkyrie is now on this one, as Scoop makes that a non-issue against Cynical, looking to spawns and cannot get the last one. Turbo continuing on this tirade of terror, the headshot on that one.
Yes, they are, and yeah, I mean, that was a pretty fast break. We are going to be seeing now 25 seconds until the end of this game. Turbo is going to be locking it down up top, turns around immediately, is going to be able to pick up Prodigy. He's looking good there in the top green on the bridge as he's going to go ahead and flank around. Can he pick up a third? He does. It's Yurifa. Get out of here, buddy. As Scoop also going to be next on the list. Looks like they are going to be able to continue on with the time in the point, and this is just mowing it down. I mean, just time after time, he is just winning these gunfights. I do want to point out that Exert is almost going to be breaking that 30 kill mark, so he is definitely looking good here tonight as well. It's 238 to 193. Are we going to be seeing a miracle P1 hill coming out right here for Valkyrie?
It would be a Herculean effort. The absolutely Cynical making that a non-issue for the time being, turning attention to up top and almost takes out Oblivion, but Oblivion let live and takes out the second for there. Get the pistola out and Turbo giving him the business on this one. Looking now at the AK-74U. Attention to point, and that's it. Living Nightmare taking game number 1, 250 to 196.
Yeah, that was really good game back and forth. It looked like, we were going to see the momentum shifting over. I think it was about close to the start to the mid game for Valkyrie, but no, it was some really good games coming out, or plays coming out right there from Living Nightmare to be able to take that win.
Yeah, so really this is a game that saw what, 3 or 4 different lead changes, something like this. We didn't see either team pull away by more than 10% for the first half of this game. Valkyries kind of come up on top of that for a little while, but it was all for naught. Not to last here in our Garrison map number 1 for the Hardpoint. I'll be seeing Garrison map number 2 for the Search and Destroy as well. And what are our predictions for this one? There's some high flying, really fast action game number 1, but Search and Destroy is simply different, right?
Well, personally, I think this next one is going to be really fun. Both of these teams look like they're very aggressive. They have good shots on them. So what I've noticed is that when you have two really aggressive teams going at it, S&D is just fireworks. You're going to be seeing fast rounds, and just very, very crazy setups and 1v1s going down, hopefully. But one thing that I do want to say as well, this was talking in the Discord a little bit earlier to some of those players, some of the people who have known Valkyrie before in that roster, and they've always said that they lose map 1 every single time that they play. They always lose map 1 and they win the rest. So it's kind of interesting that trend might be continuing here, as we might be seeing Valkyrie just storming on back with a 3-1 win. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but so far it's following that trend that we were talking about. So pretty interesting to see that kind of prediction happening right there.
Yeah.
And so heading on into S&D Garrison once again. Now this one, Garrison is, I hear a lot of people not liking this map. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter talking about how bad this map is for S&D just because it is so heavy towards one bomb site. I haven't really cast this one in a while. I think it's been like 2 weeks since I've cast. Has anything changed? Have the tactics changed on it at all or anything like that? Have you seen?
I'd hate to report that not really, my man Brett. At the end of the day, again, there's always the term that I use for Garrison is just simply busy. Yes, there's some decently long range sightlines. Yes, you can get a lot going through the middle, but the simple fact of top green on one side and rat hole on the other means that this is a map that you can move through very easily if you just simply choose to not move through that middle part. Now, either side and vertical advantage is such a big deal here. I think that's why, at least with Valkyrie, again, I have not casted Living Nightmare as this 4-stack, as the Nefarious or Cynical Turboed and Exert full 4-man team on this. But what we saw from Valkyrie was starting the S&Ds with really almost opposing contradictory kind of mindsets into individual first 3 or 4 rounds. They got really, really fast in certain points, really, really slow. But when they played slow, they were able to kind of more control the momentum of that game, like we mentioned in our first map, in the Hardpoint. Now, if they're able to do that again, I think that the Valkyrie will be able to take the lead. And then as opposed to the first map, they will be able to hold on to that lead. Now, if it happens early, if it happens late, no idea as far as that one. But like you said, Brett, we're on our way to kind of like that more predicted score line. The Valkyrie players just admit, man, map 1 just ain't their map. I'm not sure if they don't warm up. Maybe just the comms need to get into their groove or whatnot. But like you said, Valkyrie just more frequently loses map 1 than goes on to get a 3-man run after that.
Yeah, I know my experience in years past from other esports. There are teams out there that are just in a best of series. They're just always going to lose that first map. They're just coming out cold. It takes them that one map to get ready, and then they're just a totally different team after that. So that could be who they are, and you know what? That's fine. I accept them for who they are. So
there you go.
That's what it's all about.
That's good. Acceptance and love of all individuals and people. No, I'm with it.
That's right. But we are going to be on Garrison. This is going to be, like you said before, it can be a very, very fast map, especially up there on that vents area. Probably the most exciting part of this map is that vents section. You do see some really crazy plays coming out. I know I was watching some of the Challenger Cups a few weeks ago, and man, that was just some just craziness happening. Two pieces inside the vents and just all kinds of nuts on the nade placements and everything. So hopefully we're going to be seeing something awesome like that coming on out. But first of all, we are going to be seeing Valkyrie with the bomb in hand as they are on attack. And we'll see how slow they're actually going to play. Not as fast as I really thought that they were going to be playing this first of all.
Okay, so first blood does happen. Turbo done dusted, sent back to respawn to think about his mistakes. As it is, Living Nightmares down technically in the man numbers, but given that on defense, no attack, it's not quite yet. Now there's the ticking time bomb next to B that does get taken out. If there was a change that came from this map, honestly, I'd have to say that it is literally a ticking time bomb. You shoot a couple times, it starts, and you can kind of predict when it goes off after that, so that's just another advantage for the defensive side. You start that one off, you can pretty much guarantee there's not going to be anybody coming onto that without at least exploding it first and giving you an auditory cue, an audio cue, right? So
yeah, absolutely. We do see Urifa, though, going in for the plant. We'll be able to get that down. So time is extended right here. And a really nice unit, three-man unit, just kind of moving around that B bomb site. I love it here coming out for Valkyrie. So it's all going to be up to Living Nightmare to see what their response is going to be, as we do have Exert taking a little bit of damage. He's going to have to back on out. Scoop, though, watching in for that defuse. Not going to be seeing anything yet, but we are getting very close. So fireworks are about to light up here. Urifa is going to be down inside those vents. He throws out the nade. Not sure if he's get the kill, but Exert picks up 2. That is going to be massive. Doesn't matter, though, in the end. Valkyrie will be able to clean that up, as we do see that first round on the board for Valkyrie.
Yeah, much slower play, rewarded to Valkyrie for, again, being able to maintain the momentum of this round. Some longer range shots from Prodigy on floating tank as well, but it is thematical, and it makes sense that this bomb was planted on the inside. Outside B, just again, a lot more open, a lot more wonky in a lot of ways. Speaking of the numbers, taking the numbers here, Prodigy 3-0 in that previous round, Oblivion taking 1. The 2 players that did pass away, Urifa and Scoop, did not find a kill before they did. Urifa did get that at plant, though.
Absolutely. So we are going to be watching what the response is going to be for Living Nightmare. Are they going to be playing this slow once again, like we saw on the on the last round? But yeah, as far as like I have to say, for your defensive side of things, you expect to be nice shot there from Turboed, and he's going to be shooting him all the way back from tank there. That's a nice little angle that he did find, and that could open it up here for his team to go ahead and make this push. Nefarious is getting in those vents, but and he does here, and we'll be able to take him down. So that's going to be evening it up, 3 versus 3 here. And
the lights and vents are a whole other story that you could really talk on. Like, hearing him is unlikely. Seeing the shadow on the wall, because you have those workman lights down there. I can't exactly remember what they're called. But you got those workman lights down there, and so any player touching even that corner, yep, those lights right there. Thank you, Exert. I really appreciate that. Looking onto windows and take down Urifa as he tries to get it started. Living Nightmare striking back on this one.
And that was a fairly clean game. I think they only dropped 1 body the entire time, and they were able to bring that back. So that was really, really nice coming out from Living Nightmare. And you do see a Cynical there able to just immediately spot out where Prodigy was going to be at. But I really like the way that they played that. I think that that was just that opening kill really did set it up. They started making that push just slowly but surely up through the middle of the map, and just kind of let Valkyrie make those mistakes. So definitely looking good. Turboed still on a 2-kill streak. He hasn't gotten anything since those first 2 kills, I believe, in the first round. See if you can open anything up, because I would love to see streaks. I highly doubt that's going to be the case, and they wouldn't really be that useful. But I would love to see somebody at least get up to those streak marks.
Well, again, Living Nightmare came through, 2 members dropping like 1.38, 1.4 KD, something like that. 2 other members not quite up there so far, but I'm sure, again, they got that objective presence in. It's always required. No players falling quite so far. Again, Valkyrie on attack, deciding to take it a little bit slower, play a much slow song for this dance. Cynical down bottom. Keeping that cool hand Luke. Do love to see that one. Putting a Trophy system right in front of his face. Maybe he just likes to look at it. Who knows? Some people like to look at trophies. Who knows?
Hey, some people, they just got a thing, right? You know, and not going to be finding any feet just yet. Turbo is going to be backed up just a bit there from the nade, but he is going to have that beautiful timing. Traded out immediately, but does get a kill in the end. And we are going to be seeing Oblivion up top on that green, just overlooking on the bomb site to make sure this teammate can't get that plant, but the nade comes in. Is it going to connect with it? Not going to be the case. That trophy there to help him out, but we are down to a 1 versus 3 situation, and that is not going to happen, as Valkyrie will be able to take that one. 2-1 now in the lead. And you know, all 3 rounds so far, it has pretty much gone almost the same way. You see those you know, initial trade kills right at the very beginning, kind of a little bit of a space in between, and then all of a sudden one team just gets completely wiped out.
Yeah, you notice our play of the game, there was almost the exact same, but for the offensive round. That was a Living Nightmare player pretty much in the same spot, you know, pretty much on that P1, and then turned, but did take down Prodigy in the corner as opposed to Exert in the kind of like left corner, who was trying to get damage onto Scoop. Scoop got plant, got out of dodge, and the getting was good. And Oblivion came through with a 5-1 kill death ratio, with a 4 streak, got everybody in the bag of chips in the last game.
Well, we'll see if he's going to be able to continue that on, but now that Tug has actually said something, it's probably not going to happen.
That's fair.
But
That's fair. It's Casper first.
It is.
That way it goes.
It absolutely is. Cynical here, just overlooking onto that B bomb site, seeing if any defenders are going to try and poke their way on out. So far, no exciting man moments. Xert, though, pokes his head up, says, "Hey, Prodigy, what's up, man?" Playing a little bit of whack-a-mole there. Not gonna be able to get him just yet, but it does look like that first kill is going to be there for Exert. We'll see if there's going to be a trade coming on in here as quickly as possible. Nope, Prodigy is going to get taken down. Exert looking great here, as he's going to be finding maybe number 3, goes in for that bomb, and is going to be finding Urifa. Almost going to be taking him down, but his teammate Turbo is going to be able to do just that. Now it's up to Scoop here in a 1 versus 3 situation. Can he actually do it? That is going to be another no. And again, we see kind of the same setup. You see the initial 2 kills go down, and then the team just gets completely wiped out.
Yep. So yeah, 4-man Call of Duty on the Search and Destroy, that's just going to happen. Maybe that is like the one good thing that that we got from 5-man. The Search and Destroy rounds, after losing 2 members, just aren't complete wipes pretty much every time, with the doubled up numbers against, you know, 4-2 as opposed to 5-3. 3-5 is much more doable. As is there towards the end, I think that was just kind of a matter of split decisions. You knew it was 3 versus 1. Doesn't pay the correct attention to the player on the right so much, or that doorway on the right, a very heavily trafficked entryway. Pays more attention to the left, and then does fall. As it is, attackers continue on, winning all the way through. Defense has not won around quite yet. Cynical does get the sun check out there, gets the information as players slowly rotating both sides. No, not rotating for Living Nightmare. These guys have planted the asses, and they're not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, I don't blame them here. You know, I mean, it's been pretty rough on both sides when it comes to the attacker. So why change anything right now? But you do see that initial kill coming on in. So Scoop is down. Once more, Living Nightmare, they do have that advantage for the defense. We'll see if they're actually going to press this advantage or just wait for Valkyrie to actually come on in and make that mistake.
Big thing for the Valkyrie. I believe that was Urifa who finished 0-3 on the last. Nefarious, unfortunately, is still putting up those numbers. Goose egg so far, no Ks for him. Urifa, over the top, we see with the X-ray vision, frags coming out from him. Maybe a Semtex, not 100% sure, but offense now at the plant. Urifa down bottom. I think he got some attention there. Yes, Cynical did see that, send shots through vents, but that's going to be Exert, actually, that's taking down that one. Oh, Prodigy goes not for the wall bang, looks at the top and pulls attention away at the worst second possible. Diffuse coming through in a 3v1 situation, and Turbo's there. Wait, nope, Turbo's on the same team, excuse me.
Turbo gets the kill. We'll be able to take down Prodigy. And yeah, once again, that is going to be another defensive round going on in. So yeah, we are just seeing defense after defense, I believe, coming on up. And that is going to be, I think, the first defuse. Is it? No. No, it's
Definitely
not.
the first defuse, not the first plant, but definitely the first
No.
defuse. I could have sworn that was offensive rounds through this that have been won.
It may have been.
Maybe
it
I'm
may
just
have been.
losing it. Maybe I'm
But you
just
know what?
losing it.
We're just losing it all around. By the way, I
That's
do want to
fair,
say
that's fair.
the whole living legend and living nightmare. I think I cursed him because I actually
That-
said that
yeah.
I was going to be saying that, but I think Tug ended up getting out. Anyways, back onto the game. Cynical comes up top here on bridge. Oh, he sees the foot. I thought maybe they're Prodigy, but no, it goes for the trophy, and he does get killed there for his actions. So it is going to be a 1v or a 1-kill lead here for Valkyrie, as Prodigy is going to be set up just overlooking there in the center of the map. We do have possible push over there onto the B side. Oh, they're actually really spread out here. So we need to be seeing maybe an opening kill there into the middle to try and maybe gets this push working for him. But Scoop is going to be setting down inside vents, just patiently waiting for that kill, as he needs a little bit of KD action going his way. Nice little shots there onto Oblivion. That's Nefarious. He's been playing pretty rough here so far in this game, or in this map, but finally gets on the board with that 1-3. So maybe he's going to be starting to wake up here, get some kills there for his team, as we are still in a 3v3 situation.
Living Nightmare, yes, on that attack has evened up the numbers for the time being. Urifa tries to find Nefarious head. Not going to happen, not so easily. But just like that, Valkyrie players die, 2 of them. Urifa's the last man left. Plant comes through, Nefarious down, 1v2 situation. Turbo's the next on the docket there, but Plane does not get executed. Just like that, Living Nightmare stringing together not 2 but 3, unless I'm wrong, rounds in a row.
Finally, we are going to be seeing a breakaway from those trade rounds, and yeah, it is going to be a 2-4 in favor of Living Nightmare. And I gotta say, you know, Nefarious, when you had to turn up, that was the time to do it. He gets 2 kills, goes in, gets the plant. That is exactly what you wanted to see coming out from him. Hopefully he can keep it up. If he does, this is definitely looking good here for Living Nightmare.
Yeah, it really, really is. Valkyrie, we're talking about how they always drop map 1 and then win out the next 3. They're staring down the barrel situation. They drop this full reverse sweep. Not the broom, but the Morba. That's what I call it with a Rocket League caster friend of mine. That Scoop just put down with a little Diamatti action at the end. 2 members down for Valkyrie, 1 for Urifa. Make it 3 as Nefarious makes his name known. 2v1 situation. Oblivion going to be trying to avoid his, timeless and guaranteed end.
Oh!
That's Cynical down, and this got very interesting, but the AR play sings true from across the round. That's 5-2 now for the Living Nightmare squad.
That would have been a very spicy shot right there had he been able to make it across map, just a real quick snap, but it was not to be. And yeah, Living Nightmares will be able to take that round. Once again, they are just on a roll here. Now let's see if they can actually hold on to it. By the way, do want to point out Turboed currently is on a 7 streak. He is 10-2, and he is just lighting it up right now. So he has, I believe he has the artillery in hand, or is getting very, very close to it. So not sure if that's actually going to come into play or not, but he does have it nonetheless.
Yeah, with them on offense, it might be a little bit harder to get value from it, but the simple fact of having it is kind of like a mental game in and of itself. I believe he's like, he's like a hair's breadth away from another sort of aerial hellfire. Again, we'll see if it's actually used here in our possible last search and destroy round.
Yeah, well, it does look like he's going to go ahead and ping the map. He has been able to call it out. We'll be able to find one. No, Scoop is going to be able to get the kill. Exert answers back, as well as Cynical being able to take down Urifa and Scoop themselves. Nefarious goes in for the plant here to see if they can just go ahead and extend that timeout just a bit, as it is now a 2 versus 3 situation. Oblivion able to even that up, and Exert's going to be waiting for him, and it's all up to Prodigy. And now in a 1v1, the bomb has been down. He's at a disadvantage. Can he take this in the next 30 seconds?
Now, I think that Nefarious knows that this Prodigy player is a little farther out and away from him, so he has a little bit of room to work with. Up top, Prodigy takes it, and Valkyrie purchases themselves another lease on life.
That is what you wanted to see if you're a Valkyrie fan. Finally, we're going to be seeing Prodigy waking on up. He ends up clutching out that round. That might be what they needed to get back into this game, but they got a little bit of a road ahead of them. They got to get 3 straight in order to take this map number 2.
Yeah, so the defensive side comes through with a win on this one. Little AR action. Prodigy wins that. And then, I mean, like you said, this is going to require quite a run. A defensive round strung into an offensive round, strung into a defensive round for Valkyries. Living Nightmare, just looking at, it is so close, right? They can basically taste it at this point, Brett.
Well, they definitely can, but you can't get too confident in these situations. A lot of times teams do choke these just because, well, they think they already have it won. And we'll see if that's going to be the case. But Exert, though, answering right away, takes down Prodigy, the star of the last round. And now it's a 3 versus 4 with Living Nightmare on map point. Possibly going to be able to take this one.
I'm pretty sure Tarifa and the rest of Valkyrie know there's a rat down in the rat hole. Tarifa looking, Nefarious taken out as we get even numbers 3-3 right now. Cynical.
You can't let that happen.
Out. Yeah, no, I mean, he was living there for a while, just actually came and kicked down the man's castle. Hate to see it.
Oh, man. All right, so it is getting a little bit spicy over here next to green. Scoop is going to be heading on in. There are 3 players there. He is going to be able to take down 1, but gets traded out immediately. 2 versus 2 now, as the bomb has been picked back up by Urifa, and will be getting planted, I imagine. Nope. Oh, Cynical is going to be able to take him down. Bomb did get planted, though, just at the last second, so it's now down to a 2-1. Oblivion's turn here to show on up, and he is going to be able to get the kill. Oh, Cynical now in a 1v1 situation. Can he make it happen? Cynical gets the shot. We'll be able to get him with the pistol, and that's an easy defuse going in, as we see Living Nightmare breaking the trend. Will be able to take map number 2 as they head into control with a bit of momentum.
Beautiful stuff. Once again, we saw Turbo and Exert really coming through with that positive KD on our Search and Destroy. As it is, the middle of this round was really just marked by some really fast play from the side of the Living Nightmares once the opportunity for the Valkyries was kind of taken away to play this a little bit slower. Fantastic stuff here. And the big thing, especially if you're a Living Nightmares fan, is the fact that they've taken their pure respawn and now the pure no respawn rounds are moving into an amalgamation of the 2 of your control game mode, which is a perfect blend of those other 2. Everything is coming up roses if you're a Living Nightmare fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, going into this Garrison, you've looked good so far in Hardpoint, so far on S&D, so you got to think, well, probably going to be looking good here on Control.
That's fair.
You got to
250, 196 to 6-3 the next. Like, that's a lot of momentum here now, and especially it's moving from a 50-point win into doubling up in round number 2.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would say, they looked really good and really in control, especially for I would say from round number 5 onwards in that S&D, they look like they had just complete control the entire time. So yeah, they got to be feeling it right now. But Valkyrie, they're not done yet. They do have an opportunity here in control in order to make this a comeback, or at least start a comeback to try and take it into a map number 4. But on Garrison, this is a map here that we have seen just some brutal spawn traps happening. It is very difficult for the attacking team to get over into radar in order to get enough time there to actually win on that attacking side. Defense really has an advantage, and we have seen teams now taking this, whoever has the most amount of kills to take it into the next defense. They've really been taking that to heart, and they slow down a lot, especially when it gets down to 10 lives mark or so. And we see just a completely different game coming out of them.
Yeah, that is a huge positive point about our control game mode. A very, very apt analysis there, Brett. I cannot agree with you more. End of the day, the simple fact of how much this game changes throughout a game that does not get, yes, you have a first of 3 situation, but each of those 3 are just, once the gates are open, those horses are taking off. Now, another good point that my man Brett here brought up that I always make a point to on control. If this is tied 2-2 or 2-1, and then the team that is down by 1 does win, pushing the 2-2 pure tie on this, the team on attack will be the team with the least amount of deaths. Is that correct?
Yes.
There you go. All right, I got it accurately reported there. Sometimes I get that mixed up myself. We'll also have some really awesome live listen-ins provided from our producer Connie there. We got a little bit of that action there in game number 1, map number 1, Garrison. Map hasn't changed. From map number 1, and some really exciting Living Nightmares comms there, especially as they were coming through and kind of communicating to really put the butter on the bread that was a lead change that ended up being insurmountable. took that one 250 to 196. We'll be investigating the Valkyrie squad when it comes to those live listens ins at least first, and depending on how long this control goes, might get multiple in with Living Nightmare, and then of course we have multiple games after that. We'll not be live listening in with the Search and Destroys, obviously, if we get to the game number 5. But Hardpoint will be rife with those as well. Again, shout out to our production. Now, the big point we kind of posed here beforehand, Brett, was that this is 2 3-1 teams that came into this next map with kind of different performances across their 4 players. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I'd say.
Okay, so I really do feel like the Living Nightmare half that has been just absolutely slaying out has really unlocked the door that has been to the game, or to the map 1 and map 2 success. How's the take on here? What's the idea?
Yeah, I was looking kind of at the KDs and just the general, the stat lines during the games, and it doesn't really feel like any one person is really carrying the team wholeheartedly. And you do see, like what we saw previously with Nefarious. He was struggling there for a little while, but he made the plays that mattered, and especially in the hard point as well. Over on that P2 hill, he was able to get that real quick, 2 kill that gave him another probably 10-15 seconds and left just a little bit of trash time there for Valkyrie. So, moments like that where maybe your players that aren't getting that massive KD spike, but they're getting the kills when it matters, where it actually is going to affect change within the game. And that's what you want to do. I know from previous games that I've always been in, it's kind of like, it doesn't matter if you're getting 1,000 kills a game, it's where you're getting those kills that really is going to make a difference in that match. So, KDs are great to look at, but where are those kills coming from? What is it actually going to do within the game? And in the control, that's gonna make a huge difference. We're gonna be seeing in this control moments to where if that last guy goes down, if it's a complete wipe, you're looking at a lot of time being melted off of the clock. And there's not a whole lot of time to begin with for these points. Even if they do capture that first point really fast, you're looking at like 2:15 or so in order to actually win out that round if you're on attack. So, if you see the defensive side getting a wipe, that's a lot of time that's wasted, and that's a lot of map control as well that's going to be given up. And again, on this Garrison control, if the defensive team is able to move up, if they can take control of green, if they can get pushed up over there to past vents into like generator, that is so hard to get out of that.
Yeah, it's all about control on our game mode here, no pun intended, really. It's literally about what these individuals can do, longer range, shorter range, and simply playing that role on control. A little Ryman action coming through for you. We saw our SMG players down in vents getting everything in a bag of chips done. There was multiple pushes. There were just straight up, you shall not pass over on that side. They decided individual search and destroy rounds like literally multiple times across the 9 that we did see. Now, coming into this next control, Garrison will be played a little bit differently, but I have no reason to believe we will not expect a lot of high flying and explosive antics from these 2 squads that are fully warmed up. Now, we're going to be getting into this game in just a second, but Brett, I want to hit you with another little opinion action here. I want to get the take. So I believe it was Nameless, I'm not 100% sure, that made a really good, no, it was Merc, that made a really good point on control about basically you only get you don't start with that much time to begin with, right? But you only get time added on once you completely take an A or B control point. Not as ticks come through, not as your first third, your second third, or your third third comes through, but once you take the full thing. Now, the idea is trying to split attention and in that way kind of make it less so when it's like really, really one-sided attacking wise about which control point you want to take. Now, I want to ask, the suggested fix was changing it so that you get the same amount of time total, but divided into thirds when you take these individual thirds, both A and B. What's the idea?
I kind of see where they're coming from. Me personally,
I described that well. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Me personally, I think that instead of each of those ticks being time, I think they need to fix stuff like the smokes. I think if they fix smokes, then you don't have the issues that we're having with these pushes on certain maps. I also think that some of these maps just aren't really made well for control. I was a really big fan, I have to admit, of control back in the Black Ops days. And there's a lot of different variables in that game that made control work. I think obviously not having the specialist is a big thing. You're not going to be able to break, really hard defensive sides, and you're not going to be able to just, grapple on in. And that was a really good opener into certain points and whatnot. But yeah, I kind of see where they're coming from. But my issue with having every 20 seconds or every tick being 20 seconds is that it will throw, it'll be then too offensive favored. And this is obviously I've not seen it played like this. So nobody has. So we don't know how it would play. But in my head, I can see it being very offensive favored because they could basically just hit one side, grab 20 seconds, hit the other side, grab 20 seconds, hit the other side, grab 20 seconds, hit the other side. You see what I'm saying?
I do. I know
yeah,
what you're getting at.
You
And
can just go with a 4-man push real quick, get that 20 seconds, and then you wipe and then go to the other side. And the only thing you have to worry about then is your lives lost that are going to be going up there. But if you're able to keep it relatively even, it's going to be a nightmare for the attacking team because then they have to start. How do you defend against that? I mean, if your 4-man push is going to be happening over onto one side every single time, and you only leave 2 players over there, well, you have a choice. Okay, so 2 players are going to die. Then we're going to respawn. We're going to push as a team. We're going to wipe them out. They get 20 seconds. Time extended. But now, do you split up your guys to go over to the other side again, or do you try and defend one spot? I think it's just a little bit too offensive heavy like that.
2 things. First, what you just described, on paper at least, is how it should be, right? Like it literally should have split attention across the 2. But if that does happen, then you have the same exact situations we have now, which is one team putting all of their attention on one and then getting it and then getting their time because they clear it out no matter what, and then everybody goes on to the next. Now, having it like that would have your defensive side be able to make that decision. Yeah, I cannot disagree with you that coming in with that almost does give your offensive team more it really kind of flips that advantage around, whereas defense does have the more clear advantage as of right now. But with doing it with that, kind of puts it on offense until you're a defensive team that just says, okay, screw it, hey, take it, have the time. Have your cake and eat it too, whatever else, right? Have your time, because that's the same exact situation they're going into on the next one. But with this, it's more predictable, and the defense can then make a choice about where they want to, and it's pretty much going to be clear about where a full 4-man would want to go. And then at that point, it's only a 2-life investment. It's not something you have to do continuously over and over again. So what I'm saying is it opens up for more play, I guess. It opens up for more of a shot caller on a defensive team to be able to make a more informed decision.
It does, but I think the fact that we have the ticks in there in the first place instead of being able to bleed it out completely is, I mean, that allows that kind of play too, because you
what
don't
about one
have
tick then, right? Like one at 50% and then up, and then getting your 30 seconds for that.
maybe, but like I said, I think there's one element that we have not really seen being used, properly, and that's smokes. I want to see how
That's fair.
proper smokes would actually play in this mode, because if you're able to block off those sightlines, especially on Garrison, I mean, you got to admit, Garrison sightlines are just nasty. So if you're able to block off those sightlines, it changes the game. All of a sudden, your subs are going to be able to do a lot more damage up close, especially in the hill. They're going to be able to just destroy people. ARs are not going to have that dominant position like they've had all this time before. So it opens it up to that close quarter combat. You're going to be seeing teams now with a little bit more of an advantage, maybe, that like to run those fast and aggressive subs in those positions. So yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's all theory crafting, and I definitely, I can see where the 20 seconds per tick would make it a little bit more interesting. But in the end, I think, like what you said to your second point, is what would end up happening. You would have outliers where it would definitely be a back and forth and a really exciting game. But most of the time, it's kind of like what you see on Raid for a lot of the high end matches, where they're like, okay, you get the first tick on A, we're done with it, we're going over to B and we're defending. And they just leave it, and they just let them cap it.
I'm not against it at all, but again, like if we're trying to be like proactive against it, or instead of just reactive, like we want to get this done, so this is what we do. We do proactive because we want to get this done, but this is how people take it, and so now we're going to react to that, right? Like the kind of like the third reaction there, as opposed to just initial, just this is how we want it, right? The adaptation, I guess, is what I'm getting at there. At the end of the day, at least with the way we framed it, again, this is theory crafting. Maybe at its worst at this point, but you get the same exact situation. With that, that's part of your argument, I believe, that that it would go down and just have a heavily favored one side or the other. But enough with the deep theories and Call of Duty strats and Call of Duty what is it like? I'm just dissecting strategies here, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
It may not be a popular opinion, I don't know, but I love control in Black Ops 4. I don't think it works without all of the pieces that Black Ops 4 had. I think probably for this game anyways, capture the flag would probably be really, really good.
Heard a lot about that. Coming from, I mean, I played a lot of Halo in my time, friend. And it's a very, very close staple, a very beloved staple in that game. There's a reason for it as well. Prodigy and Co. Gonna get the first Ks up on this one. Not an insurmountable lead whatsoever, but a lot of progress on B so far. Again, B usually being where teams turn their attention to first. Exer just kind of playing with Urifa on the other side. That sounds R-rated.
Well, you know, leave it to you to make things sound R-rated. So, anyways, yeah, we are going to be seeing that B getting that first initial tick on in it. We do have some really nice kills coming out from Valkyrie, and this is what you want to see over on the attacking side, making sure that you're going to be able to get those kills coming on in. They do have an advantage in those lives, but Cynical here is going to be on a flank of a lifetime as he picks up one, picks up two, picks up three, wiping out that side. He says, "Get the hell out of here," as he completely dominates, and that is what you wanted to see coming out from them.
You call that one kill shy of the full yeet in the business, Brett. Getting everything, saying literally, you know, this is my hill and this is where I'll die on. This is the hill I'll die on. I think that's the phrase. 40 seconds or so, exert from top middle catwalk. This cat's not gonna have 9 lives today. Nefarious, that's who we're looking at today. He's got his attention over onto B, and that progress isn't gonna go down by itself.
That is crazy. We went from having, I think it was a 6 life advantage to now just a 2-1 life advantage. It was crazy how fast that swings. But Cynical is not done yet. He's going to be able to pick up one more as he transitions over there towards that generator side of the map. But Faris is going to be coming back in on the tank. We'll be able to take him down. And this is where it gets nasty as you do starting to see them pushing on back. They're getting more and more of that map control. They're starting to be able to push them further and further back. And now we're down to only 4 seconds. And this, I think, is it. Prodigy goes down. There's nowhere for them to go, and that is why defense is so freaking hard, or I'm sorry, offense is so freaking hard to play.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
If you're friends with Cynical here, might wanna clip that one for him.
That is beautiful.
Pulls out the pistol at the end just to mop up any messes there, but there's no messes to be cleaned up, at least for him. Living Nightmare with a solid start on this one. What's up?
You don't get many moments where they all line up like that. I mean, that is really just truly one of those just feel good. And, you know, I got to imagine that in their comms right then, they were hyped as heck. I mean, they've got to just be going crazy when that happened.
Looking in the future at that point.
That was a change.
Yeah, about to get some more time. Okay, guys, where are we going to go through it? Who's going to go through where? Who's going to rotate this? Not going to happen. Scoop with a little shot punch action down bottom into Vince. Close quarters combat yields the advantage for him and his squad. Exert trying to get something done from diagnostics and gets taken out with a headshot. Very, very in. Back of the skull on that one.
Yeah, we do have, looks like number 8, Cynical, able to poke on through. He's going to try and get over there towards that B capture zone. Vince is already occupied, though, and he's going to poke on down. Does not get the kill. Rifa waiting there. And that's going to be, once again, pushing them back. And right now, Living Nightmare is having a much more difficult time than what we saw from Valkyrie. Not able to get a single bit of time on the clock just yet, and we're already down to 35 seconds. So they've got to start making a push here pretty soon. It is going to be 26-21 in terms of live. So I don't know if they're going to chalk this round up and just try and stay maybe in that safe life advantage, but they need to be doing something.
I am with that. We saw, I guess that's something we can talk about for a second. Players lining up like that, I feel like that, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I feel like that's one of the biggest differences between your top tier, you know, the highest of the highest, CDL players and beyond. You know, the frame of mind to not line up like that based on where your teammates are at all times. Just that frame of mind doesn't come outside of like literally thousands of hours playing this game. On over towards A, that's where offenses push their attention for the time being, even time. So actually, this is your Living Nightmares squad that's doing a great job, getting a lot of progress on this.
This is exactly what we wanted to see in terms of a switch up. You have almost a third tick going into A. This is going to extend out that time for another minute. So a side that you don't typically being seen for the offensive going in their favor, they're going to be able to make it happen. Valkyrie just giving it up. They're saying, all right, you know what? You can have it. We're going to go ahead and just try and play this as defensively as heavy on B. But it's not looking too great. We're not going to be seeing him with too much of an advantage in terms of lives. We see a Cynical all the way back here. He's going to spot out 2 players that are going to be coming back in for those reinforcements on B. He picks up 1. That's going to be Prodigy going down. And Scoop also gets picked up. And B right now is getting power burned. Almost the 3rd tick going on in right now. And this is going to be scary. Are we actually going to be seeing an offensive round going down? Nefarious is going to be the last one up in the point.
Close.
He gets killed. No, he doesn't take it out. His teammates coming back in for the help. 38 seconds left on the clock.
I think that should be enough for the Living Nightmare squad. This has been marked by the Living Nightmare squad starting rotations that absolutely shut down anything that the Valkyries can do. Just clipping those wings, Brett. 20 seconds now. Exert looking for the flank as well. Exert finds 1 down bottom. Does get taken out as the rotation comes through. A little bit of progress action now. 15 seconds on. That is going to get paused.
It's a foot race now to that B point. Who's going to be able to get there first? The time has been stalled out. Cynical, can he get the kill? He can't. He's traded out immediately. Nefarious comes around the corner. He picks up 2. And he takes a teammate down as well as Exert. He's still on the point, though. It's being contested. Eurefa's going to be able to get the kill. Nefarious is still there. Both teams trying to get to the point as fast as possible, but Living Nightmare comes out with the win, pushing them off the point. They're going to be able to take this one 2-0 and on offense. Wow, what a play.
Fantastic stuff. The man just saw red and he needed blood. That was beautiful stuff. So breaking down what I'm pretty sure was the what was the thought lines there really. That was what Exert's teammate on this, and at the end of the day, what happened is that he got information that an opponent was on map, and he just kind of like trusted the game as opposed to his own eyes, right? Like he knew he had a teammate next to him. You can look at the minimap and tell, obviously. But at the end of the day, the game is telling you that the player is contesting. That was only coming off the back of like a little pixel, like one tiny little part of Valkyrie play on the other side. He sees a player and just, nope, this has got to be an enemy. Takes him out.
Well, you know what? Right now, let's go ahead and go into a listen-in with Valkyrie because they're on death's door, if you will, possibly getting 3-0'd here. Let's see how they're reacting right now.
Nice, I'm coming trash, Just stay alive, we have your green cut off.
1 more, nice.
Nice.
I'm trying to stay down.
Got 1. I'll kill the kid on A. I'm stacking it with you.
Yeah.
I'm weak. I'm just trying to stay alive. Yeah, I'm gonna start rotating B.
Try to get that tick on B.
Yeah.
I got off it. I'm just holding a power spot in the lights.
Okay, I got B.
In their cellar, shit on.
Lights, 1 shot. Nice.
Got him.
Hop it.
Brandon, I need help.
Just stay, play your life. I'm
I
trying to
saw
cut off their spawn. Nice, good shit.
God, I'm coming to help you, Scott. I'm coming to help you in the back.
I got 1 coming lights.
Holding our mid.
1's on me.
1 more bottom lights, dead.
Go stack this. If y'all can't come back.
I got another one. 1 more square.
Freaking go.
Nice.
Let's
Oh,
go.
baby.
All right, so that definitely sounded very calm, cool, collected. Looked fantastic the entire round. I mean, they didn't seem like they were on death's door.
No, not at all. Cool, calm, and collected under pressure. Love to see it. That was your Valkyrie squad coming through with some really quick comms that unlocked in every way, shape, and form their next breath of life. Eurefa with 15 objective movements so far. Fantastic stuff. What we're looking at is still, though, a Living Nightmare squad that is 1 control game away from putting this one 3-0. Now, the way the Valkyrie just showed up there, 11th hour, so I'm going to guess we got some more Call of Duty to be played here, Brett.
I hope so. I absolutely hope so. We need to be seeing a game number 4, possibly 5. As Exert comes on in, he's going to be able to pick up Scoot there. But I do want to mention that was also Valkyrie winning on an offensive round. So that's 2 offensive rounds back-to-back that have been won for Garrison, which is something that you just really don't see all that often. As we do have those first initial time going down here onto that B site for Living Nightmare. As again, Valkyrie, they are going to be at just the very bleeding edge here, trying to make sure that they're going to be pulling back and getting this win, as they are almost in the elimination circle. But Turbo is going to be able to pick up at least one. We do see, looks like all of the time they're taken away onto that B site. So looking pretty good here for Valkyrie. They have that live advantage, that slight live advantage going down in, and they have some really good control so far in the map.
Yeah, we saw a flip of attention earlier. That's what we're seeing now. Prodigy kind of tapping A, just sort of letting them know that he was there. Honestly, I would not be fully against kind of, again, this swapping of attention on this. Big flanks coming through from the side of Valkyrie. That was Scoop taking out one. He would have taken out Prodigy as well, but just like that, I think the Valkyrie have put a nice little bow on top of this round numero dos. Looking at the deaths, I do believe Living Nightmare will have significantly more, so I think we're going to come back through to a Valkyrie squad on defense.
You know what, Tug? I am not going to try and do math on stream. It fails miserably every time, so I'm just going to leave it up to whatever the game decides, and we'll go with that. But yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like maybe Living Nightmare is going to be able to have that opportunity, but no, I think it's going to be Living Nightmare on
Valkyrie's on
here.
defense.
So, yeah, Valkyrie is going to be in a position here to potentially take this map. And that would be huge, as it will go into a next hard point. Maybe this is their opportunity to warm on up, as Prodigy is going to be setting on in. He will be able to pick up one. Spots out two, though, immediately back it up. He picks up a second one, looking for the third. Not going to happen, though. His teammates coming back in for the rotation. And, oh, man, Turbo's going to be able to pick up two there, as that is immediately going to be getting at least one tick on in. Turbo is going to push this out, trying to get over here to take down Prodigy. Not going to be happening just yet, but Nefarious is still going to be up and alive. This does leave a window open to attack onto that B side, so we need to be seeing that rotation. Quick exert, get over there. But that is going to be a nice one-tick advantage over on that A side.
Yeah, so progress has been started. Cynical tries to get the mantle shots off. Not gonna happen. We are gonna be looking at a team Valkyrie who has, oh my god, yeah, I just realized this, 26 lives, 26 lives to 20 or so, so significant little advantage on that one. Slow down the play a little bit for Valkyrie, and I think they had this one in the bag, Brett.
Well, we'll see if that's going to be the case. Remember, you can win this game mode in two different ways, if you cap everything or if you kill everybody. So we could be seeing that significant life advantage not really coming into play. And we could also see it switching around as round number 2. They had a 6 live advantage and it flipped on its head in an instant. So it's all going to be up right now to Living Nightmare. And if they can turn it up right here when it really matters, and it's going to be Turbo here opening. Picks up one. Is it going to be enough here for Cynical to try and pick up Prodigy? Will be able to take him down. So B-Flight is open for the time being, but cut down cross map. And that is going to be 6 seconds left. So I think we have just seen Valkyrie being able to hold on with the skin of their teeth. Wow. And they are going to be able to take this to a map number 4. What looked like a potentially dominating round as an 2-0 lead for Living Nightmare is flipped on its head. Valkyrie win 3 straight to stay alive in the series.
Yeah, at the 11th hour, 2-0 situation for them, and snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. That's what they say here. Just as a recap, in case you're joining us recently, this is the Living Nightmares squad. They got a fantastic performance in game number 1, 250 to 196. Different situations. Game number 2, 6-3 there for the Search and Destroy for your Living Nightmares squad. But then a complete rotation of the momentum on this one. 3-2 in the 5th control round for the side of Valkyrie, keeping the dream alive for right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to be heading into a raid hardpoint. This is, I love raid hardpoint. I think that it's not as bad as Crossroads in terms of just like a meat grinder, but it does have more of a flow to it, a circular flow. So we're going to be seeing a lot of flanks coming out. And I think that might really suit what I've seen from Prodigy. I've only cast Prodigy once, but I think that kind of play style might suit him and his team. So could be seeing some really good games coming on out. But I think we're going to be taking it to a quick little break here in between this next map. So definitely don't go away. We'll be right back.
Tell them I'm staying right here. Tell them I'm switching my gear. Yeah. Tell them I'm just getting started. Tell them this year's my
And we are back here now at game number 4, possibly the last, between our Living Nightmares and Valkyrie's squad. Now, because this is the last, of course, we do need to run through, shout out our partners as well. They make this possible, and we do appreciate them. That is GitGudHosts, as well as Innovated Gear, Rogue Energy, Gamers Resort, Dropshot Data that did provide us a solid little bit of insight earlier. We really do appreciate that, and that's kind of how we were able to develop the narrative behind this Living Nightmares squad, having 2 players that are really kind of popping off KD-wise, and having 2 more other players who are more objective-based. And as a caster, I do appreciate that. DesignByYou as well, our video editing partner, and we do appreciate them. You have seen plenty of their work on Showcase here tonight between transitions, intros, other kinds of videos, and we do appreciate that. Personally, I do really appreciate the exposure of my casting of the Golden Throat here getting shown off on Twitter and more. So again, shout out to everybody involved with the K7 League, and specifically our producer, Connie. Now, Brett, I know that was a whole lot. Are you still with me? Didn't fall asleep yet?
Oh, not yet. We still got much more action that's going to be keeping me awake here. So this game, I think, is just heating up, to be honest with you. I think what we saw there in map number 3 is exactly what we needed. It's going to give them the momentum. And going back to that listening, I do want to kind of touch on that. That was a do or die moment, right? That was an offensive round that they had to win. They were already down 0-2, and they sounded like it's just a scrim. You know, they were calm, they were collected, they weren't screaming, they weren't excited, which isn't a bad thing, but it just kind of shows that the level that their mindset is at, that they're, you know what, even when their backs are really right there against the wall, they're still going to be taking it like it's just another day. And, you know, that attitude right there might be able to carry them on to a map number 5 and possibly a victory here, depending on what we have coming out for this hard point. And now
I'm with you. I'm with you.
yeah. Now, you had made some really good points when we were going into the control about just how
Me?
good. Yeah, I know, it's surprising. I know, but how good
be out here
you know,
talking.
we were seeing Living Nightmare actually playing in the hard point and that S&D. You know, they won by just slightly over 50 points there in that hard point. They won with 3 rounds over in that S&D. So they were looking really good going into control. Now going into this next hard point, it's not going to be on Garrison. So this is going to be a little bit of a switch up over onto Raid. So which is nice for a
You're
change.
entering the promised land. Thank God.
Exactly. But
Garrison's just
yeah.
sorry, I should say any map 3 times over is just a little bit of much when it comes to casting. There's nice to be like as a caster, whenever Call of Duties come out, you almost have to have those. Like literally try and get like onto a scrim of good players that are playing like literally like, we're just grinding this game too. And as a caster, you have to do that as well. This game's been out for a while. I've cast a lot of Garrison, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I really need that much practice, and I know you don't. You know this map like back of your hand here, Brett. Don't need any more practice on Garrison casting or playing wise. Now we're gonna be looking at Raid next, a map that needs no introduction, right?
No, I think this has a very storied history. Everybody pretty much knows how this map is going to be playing on out. It's a very, like I said, it's a very kind of circular style map where we're going to be seeing a lot of flanks, a lot of rotations going to be coming on in. You know, this is probably one of the more what's that? I'm not necessarily technical maps, but you definitely do see where team comms are going to be coming into play. You know, rotations, splits, where players are going to be pushing. I think you're going to have a lot more of that on this particular map, and less just, you know, choke pointy style play where you're just going to set up on the head glitch and just mow them down as they come on in, and just throw bodies at it. So that's kind of one of the things that I like about this Raid hardpoint. But you've had some more time, you know, casting Valkyrie in the past, with especially that particular roster. What do you think we're going to be seeing coming out from them on this hardpoint? They struggled in the first one. I won't say they struggled, but in the mid game they looked pretty decent. They had that slight lead with about 60 points or so, but then after that they pretty much they fell by the wayside. I think they got maybe 30 points after that, and then it was just all Living Nightmare all day long. So what are we going to be seeing coming out for Raid?
From Raid, I think that Valkyrie, again, 196, 250 in the first hard point there. I think that Raid is hands down a different map in every way, shape, and form. And I'm going to answer your critical and very analytical, strategic question, and I'm going to go off of my own riff here.
Do
Just
it.
preparing you. All right. As long as Valkyrie gets things together on their second rotation of hard points, this isn't going to go in 4 no matter what. Like, period, end of story. This is going to be a back and forth a lot. We're going to see no fewer than 8 hard points. But if Valkyrie come through after hard point number 5, really, that's where they broke away the first time. But that's also where the lead got taken away from. All it's about is just keeping on that momentum, keeping that train just going down the tracks, the tires spinning, the wheels pumping, whatever else you want to say. Now, Brett, there's my riff. Here's what I want to talk about. The difference between looking at this map when I was a little bit younger, back when this map was included in our Call of Duty rotation, and then now. This is a person that has millions of dollars of expendable cash and decides to build a house, a living quarters, something like that. Like they're going to spend a lot of their time at. And you look across these rooms, and there's just no sense made. There really is. And you look at the garage, and it's literally the biggest room in the entire and on the entire compound, right? This is supposed to be a drug kingpin or something like that in Colombia, right? Like that's the frame, the background, the story behind this map. And then like the weight room next to the basketball courts is just as big as like the little like loft area that's kind of overlooking our cul-de-sac, in which there is one bed and that's it. Just the aesthetic choices, right? I'm not one to watch the Home Network very often, but they would have a cow. They'd have a heart attack looking at this map.
Yeah, HGTV would not be happy with it. But, Jay brought up this point as well when this map was being brought into the rotation. And I kind of answered his question, kind of similar question to what you had with this. Is this when you have that much coke, you don't make good decisions. And that's
fair.
probably the reason why.
Impulsive decisions in which money simply doesn't matter. I'm with it.
It's just when your nose is hurting all the time and your focus isn't really on what matters, you tend to make those bad decisions. But you know what? It works for them.
Like battle armaments as well, right? This isn't like a defensively like set up a compound, right? You can't really call it just a house because there's literally like three different houses with the center gardens and things like this. Center gardens, beautiful, very well done on that. But it just seems like they kind of fired their interior designer after you got like the kind of pool area and the interior gardens to kind of figure it out.
Well, they had their priorities set correctly. Definitely the pool was the focus, I think, in this setup, in this layout. I mean, that infinity pool just looking banging.
It kind of seems like they have more like infinity pool square footage, right? Like, because that's how you see kids. That's how you have to think about living quarters once you get old. And the pool area literally has like more like storage than any closets, any kind of storage area, and even I haven't done numbers on this, but possibly even more so than even like the one like living quarters space. Or well, no, I guess there's two different living quarters space, kind of like looking over pool and then looking over cul-de-sac. But again, just tiny areas. These people, I guess it's going back to your point here, Brad. Maybe there was a lot of cocaine involved, and their emphasis was simply not on sleeping.
I think I have another theory. I think maybe even though it's been there for a while, right? It's been there for 6-7 years, however long it's been. Quite possibly, we had a TikTok star actually design this house. I could see that happening. I could see that being the case, though. Like the way their minds work, I could see it.
They want the good backgrounds and stuff. They don't want to care about where they're sleeping at, where they're gonna be raising children, or hosting guests or anything else like this.
They view the world through the reverse side of their phone. So it's all it's all about.
That's a phrase right there. They view the world through the reverse side of their phone. That is maybe this man behind a microphone. Oh wait. Oh, yeah. Beautiful stuff. No, but maybe that's just how I need to start looking at it, right? Like the gym area, for all those aesthetically pleasing gym selfies that are literally always the same, Brett. Literally always the same. I believe there's even a mirror for them. They don't even have to bring in a mirror to literally get that typical looking down at your phone with some kind of like skin tight, like wicking away sweat kind of workout wear on with the headphones or the earbuds or the headphones on every single time. Hair a mess every single time. Male, female, doesn't matter.
That could possibly be a niche money making scheme right there. You
as an
sign up
interior
with the
designer?
gym. No, you sign up with the gym and you say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to just take photos of all these gym people that are just wanting the selfies. When they leave the gym,
Everybody
you give
wants
them your
it.
selfies.
Nobody can resist
Boom.
like that self-aggrandation
like
of posting on
$5
social
a
media that I just went to the gym, right? Yeah, no, that is beautiful. That is ingenious. Literally, photographers setting up at very popular gyms in order to take people's gym selfies for them, because human beings, for all their just wonders and accomplishments, dreams, and everything else we have done, nobody has been able to find a way to take an attractive gym selfie that is not the standard in any way, shape, or form, myself included. I'm not saying that I am. Don't think I
Well,
exclude myself. I'm an asshole just like you.
well, we all got our faults, and maybe that's just one that's never going to go away. So
Yeah,
we're
that's
just
fair.
kind of
We
stuck
literally
with
all
it.
have all have that fault as well. Again, gym selfies
Absolutely.
again. But talking about the reverse side of the camera, you can't spit without hitting that pool. That infinity pool again, that maybe is just going back to your point. They're simply paying more attention to the aesthetically pleasing aspects of the house building, which as not an actual boomer, but somebody who's 10 months away from his 30th birthday, just right there, just
Hey, you're going to join the 30 army. Woohoo. Yeah. So,
I'm not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it. 1 foot in the grave. That's how I feel.
well, it's the grave's a little bit warm. I will admit, it's a little toasty. So
People have been there
it's
before.
not too bad. Um,
We reuse them in my family.
I'm glad that you said that. I know we're off on a tangent here, guys. We do apologize, but I will say this.
I never apologize for going on a tangent, Brett.
Yeah,
Never.
but it's nice to know that you're almost 30, because I am 30, about to turn 31 myself. And looking at a lot of these casters that I've had the opportunity to work with, they're like 20, 21. I'm like, damn, I'm
Damn, you're
feeling
smarter
old
than I am.
here.
Why didn't I do this 10 years ago? I feel you, 100%.
Exactly.
I kick myself for that
Oh,
almost
man.
every single day when I wake up. When I look across wildly professional and successful casters, they're doing a great job out there killing it. And I just simply think, I was interested in commentary a long time ago. Why the hell didn't I do anything with this? And I like to think we're doing a decent job here. Vamping is a part of the business, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you've been hearing the past 6 minutes or so. We've been talking about interior design of a drug czar's internal living quarters. So,
At the very
but no,
least,
but really, I'm going to take this opportunity, like I always do. If you're interested in what's the word? Commentary. Oh my God, getting tripped up here. If you're interested in commentary, just freaking do it. And who knows, maybe you'll have a life-changing experience like I did. Getting into it finally, though. No, we're not. Fratricide happening on the side of the Valkyries already, as we're going to be restarting here. Back to the vamping. All right, so here you come. If you could live in any of these, if you could live here, like, what's one thing you would change? One single thing you would change?
Oh, one thing that I would change. That's really tough, because there's just a lot that needs to be changed. But one thing would probably be like, and you kind of already touched this, I just put like a big old roof over everything. Just so that, when it starts raining and I wanted to go to the kitchen, I didn't have to like go out into the rain.
Say that noun there again for me.
A roof, like a big old roof over everything.
I'm just messing with you. A roof, yes, ladies and gentlemen, a roof. That's just a difference of accents right there. I love it.
Oh, I see how it is, Tug. I see how it is. You know what? That's it. I'm gone. Goodbye.
Get the double O, the oof, the roof in there for that one. Yeah, so that debate actually went on a little bit long. Who would have guessed it? The one thing I would do here, Brett, hands down, like somebody asked me this once, and be so easier. Get those laundry vans out of there, right? You got Lambos, you got this beautiful little cul-de-sac area that you can kind of look down across, from one of your meager living areas. But what are these laundry vans doing? Get that, like, there's an entire reason why a compound like this would have some kind of like back access area, like a loading unloading zone or something like that, and that's for those laundry trucks. Yes, obviously they need to be there for the strategic part of this map and blah blah blah, and that's why the game designers put it in there. But we're looking at the actual, we're ascribing intention to the design of this map from a living situation. Why are these laundry trucks here?
If they are laundry trucks, then why do you have a laundry room?
Do they?
I believe they do.
I'm racking my brain right now. There's like kind of like a gym area.
It's overlooking what is typically the first hardpoint, I believe.
Questions that need answers, ladies and gentlemen. What were these Call of Duty designers thinking? Knowing that it would trigger all these older people like myself who are looking at this as a like objectively based living situation in living quarters and whatnot. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I guess if they're preparing for an event or something like that, they might have like laundry brown. I don't know. But two different vans—that's a whole lot of laundry. And why is the Lambo in the middle? You know, did they not come together? You know, like the two laundry trucks. And I thought I could have sworn they had like some kind of indicated there like there's a laundry company like on the side or something like that. I don't I can speak Spanish decently. I can't read it really like that. You know what I'm saying?
I can't speak or read it, so yeah, I'll take your word for that one. You know, just these decisions, I think we're gonna have to go back to the devs and figure out why or where they actually modeled this from, and try and figure that out. You know, and see what was the thought process behind it, if that day ever happens. But
Perhaps that's the quintessential raid, right? Once we actually get to talk to devs and they can design a map that is both strategically sound as well as a living quarters that I would feel pride in living in, because I just can't say that about the standard raid right now. It's a strategic map, sure. Would I live there? Vacation there. It's been a couple weekends there, depending on who else is there. I mean, literal drug like kingpins and czars. I think we all have like like fantasies of like hanging out with them for a day. But ultimately, would I want to hang out with those people? Almost certainly not.
so Vic is saying that it is a money laundering business.
Money laundering business.
Laundering
okay, got it.
business, and that's what those vans are for. So
Got it. Money laundering business. That makes a lot of sense.
there you
They
have it.
have huge areas in the back with which to store our laundered cash. Money laundering money being the example, the act of taking cash that you have gotten from illegal. And we're actually going to go to a break. Yeah, you're 100% right. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute once we get a little bit of an update as to when these games will start. Don't tune away. The K7 League will hit you right back here soon. I'll bring it in. And we are back with the geographical breakdown and critique of our raid map. Would this be a good living situation? Yes or no?
You know what? I just got a message from HGTV. They are wanting you on the set tomorrow, Tug. So you're just going to go ahead, head over there. We got a contract all ready for you. It's going to be some exciting stuff.
And we're moving on to cul-de-sac, where there's not one but two money laundering trucks as well as a nice classic red Lamborghini. Moving over these dead bodies, we'll be looking at Hardpoint soon.
Oh, you gotta love it. Exert's gonna be able to pick up some kills there from behind, as it is gonna be Valkyrie with the most amount of ticks. We're on a different game mode. Second on that first hard point, my God. And we are gonna be seeing a Living Nightmare probably trying to make a rotation here pretty soon. But it is going to be a nice little flood going up through kitchen. Nice pickups from Valkyrie to be able to clear that out. And they are going to be set up quite nicely, I believe, here for this next hard point, as long as they can take care of Cynical here. As Cynical is going to be able to stay alive. He picks up one, looking for two in money. Will be able to take him down. This is big here, as the break is going to be coming on in from Nefarious. Can't quite get the kill. His teammate cleans it up once again. Cynical on a 3-kill streak. Can he make it 4 here? He can't. Will finally get taken down, and immediately swapping that around. 3 players go down, and that is going to be once again Valkyrie taking control of that hard point. So this is a very back and forth point early on.
Yeah, so Nefarious there kind of channeling the inner Cynical on that last play, getting the literal exact same play done. A little bit of flank action, gets a lot of value from it as well. Punch in the air. I'm just kind of anticipating that somebody's there. I'm with it, Turbo. I'm right there with you. Man's cracked. He's getting it going. Talk about numbers, though. Only one player from the side of Valkyrie are low. Never mind, they're dead even now as Turbo takes one across the middle. Looking at Living Nightmare, different situation. Nefarious 1 and 6 right now. Other players positive or even at the least.
Yeah, and you know, Nefarious is somebody that we have kind of not picked on, but we've pointed out here in these last few maps rather. He's had some pretty important moments within the games that sometimes have had a pretty defining effect on the match itself. So be definitely looking out for him and what he can do. But this is a mess of kills going down, trades all around. Nefarious is going to be able to get up one as we are going to be heading on into that P3 hill in Garage, and that's going to be Prodigy able to just turn him up, take him down. Turbo is going to try and get the turnaround. Not going to be happening. He ends up getting picked up. So Prodigy on a nice little streak there. It's going to be 3 for him and 3 for Oblivion, and they will be able to get the lion's share of the time, it looks like. Right now, we do have number 2, Urifa, the way out here in money, and he might be able to cut off some of these reinforcements that are going to be in the back. And yes, that is exactly what he's going to be able to do. Gets that AR in hand as well. It's a beautiful position for him to be in with that AR, as Urifa once again is going to be able to take down another. So he's on a 2-kill streak of his own, and Prodigy just ended up getting picked up. That's going to be the only player on that team who is not streaking at the moment.
Again, maybe a little bit R-rated sounding, but I'm with it on that. Oblivion getting taken down on the floor. Longer range shot sent UPS from Cynical. Looking for a second, not going to happen. Cynical taken out by Scoop. That's the player playing a fantastic corner right there, as all of the Living Nightmare squad gets spawned super close. They're going to take advantage of this all day long. Prodigy cut down and is trying to reach this hard point. That's an easier said than done situation. Exer still playing a fantastic corner position. 22 seconds or so added on top of this will put Living Nightmares away from the Valkyrie by what, 6, 8, 10, something like this?
Yeah, we are going to be seeing now those rotations starting to head over there towards the middle of the map. One of the things that I do want to point out is this is looking very similar to the first hardpoint that we did see, where Valkyrie had pretty much control throughout the majority of the start of the game, and Living Nightmare was able to really come back there towards the middle and the end of the match. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here, though. We are just heading into our last hardpoint of this first rotation. Cynical is going to be set up inside the middle there, and he is going to be getting contested. Picks up Scoop, looking for 2, and he is going to be able to pick him up with the pistol. That is a fantastic play, cleaning it out, and that will give him quite a bit of time before those respawns are going to be able to make their way back in for contestation.
Prodigy getting done against Turbo right there, as Turbo is trying to take that anchor spot. As it is, Living Nightmares have been on a fantastic streak right here when we're talking about points. Now it finally stops towards the middle. No, it doesn't. Eggs are taking out not 1 but 2 as his next position. Oh, I thought that was going to be 3 right there. Urifa now playing his from the kitchen side. Turbo gives him a couple shots to the back. Doesn't land all of them. Doesn't get the K. Rotations from Valkyrie coming through. Urifa trying to play the back position. Lock coming out. Stuns and more. Not going to happen. Urifa still taking him down in the end. Longer range shots not attempted on him at the end. The rotation came through, and now we're looking back to our first hard point.
Yeah, Cynical is going to be coming in here in the backside as well as Exert to try and maybe get some pressure here on the backside of the point. But look at that. That's going to be Scoop just set up beautifully. Will be able to get the kill. Lets his teammate know, hey, there's one more here. And they will be able to continue on this time for P1. And I got to mention that they've been able to pretty much stay on that point almost uncontested. It looks like the entire time really hasn't had any problems whatsoever. Now, it does look like number 8, Turboed, is going to be able to finally get onto the point here. And that is going to be a clear as they'll start to be able to get some of this trash times. But rotations are already coming back in. We are going to be seeing it for Kitchen. Now, Kitchen is a hill that can be very, very difficult to break. But if you remember right on that first rotation, we did see a little bit of a sneaky play coming in the back from Cynical to be able to break it, but not going to be happening there as Scoop does pick up 2.
This has been marked so far by individual players getting that pop-off factor going. Now, the Living Nightmares squad has lived and died by their ability to shut down players immediately afterwards. If they get a first kill, they need to have had damage on from the first player, and the Living Nightmares squad always gets that second. Scoop getting that might mark the end of a situation here. Turbo finds a lot right there and comes away with the life. Shots in from the side, but he's still alive. There's only one Nightmares players down right now, and Oblivion flipping scripts right here. A lot of pressure, a lot of progress on that. The flood in from the middle, yellow wise, and Prodigy is not. It does take down Turbo. Turbo not able to live through that one. What,
No,
160,
they are not. We
145?
do
Yeah.
see it looks like Valkyrie going to go ahead and be like, all right, you're going to have that last 20 seconds or so. We're going to go ahead and go over to Garage, try and set up here. Now, Valkyrie did get a lot of time here on Garage in that last rotation, so they may be
Nice.
looking to just kind of get back into the lead here on this next one. Turbo trying to make his way in. It's going to be Cynical, though, who is going to be able to pop on in. Not going to be able to get any kills here, as we'll have to fight those grenades, but a nice little flank going to be coming in. That's Nefarious, picks up one, almost going to be able to get two, but Cynical staying alive there and able to take down Eureka. That does open it up for them. A fairly early break into Garage,
Yeah.
and this is huge here. Are we seeing a repeat of map number 1? All of a sudden, Living Nightmare might be walking away with a pretty big lead.
Yeah, at the absolute least, Brett, what we're seeing is themes repeated from game number 1. Those themes include this game being very close towards the middle, but a team breaking away with it, one team taking a slight lead about a quarter way through this game, but then tying it up, and another team taking a huge advantage about 3/4 of the way in. That has been Living Nightmares in those stat lines all day long. The Valkyrie did have a much better performance in game number 1. They were coming into about the same scoreline against about 220 with 180 on Hardpoint number 1 on our Garrison. Raid being a different story in that theme again as well. Brett, take it away.
Right now, Cynical is going to be coming into courts. He's picked up 2 already, picks up a 3rd. Can he make it number 4? His teammate cuts Oblivion down before he can get that kill feed, unfortunately. But this is going to be a fast and quick break in the courts, like we said before. 2:31, 20 seconds left to go. Turbo is going to be able to lock it down. No, he does get taken down. Can the break actually happen? It's going to be Prodigy trying to make it in, but there's
Streaks.
Cynical with a huge streak there. Takes out one of his own. Doesn't even matter. He's just standing around like, boys, we have won this match with 1 second left to go. There's nobody there to contest. Little bit of shooting bodies just for the hell of it, but that is going to be Living Nightmare shutting down Valkyrie.
Just shy of the 1-point club. That's where we're at, Brett. That is the most advantage I've seen in a competitive Call of Duty match for our Cold War Black Ops. Obviously, streaks being a point of contention in other ways, shapes, and forms, not something we saw in last game at all, but taking down 5 kills, one being the teammate, that's a trade we'll make all day long on a respawn game mode like Hardpoint where it's unlimited. Fantastic stuff. Living Nightmare coming through with a similar situation from last week as well. They won that one 3-1, and So not the clean 0. That's what I meant. Valkyrie took the control map in this 3-2. That was what, 250 to 196 for the Hardpoint in map number 1. Garrison 6-3 map number 2 for the Garrison. 3-2 for the control though for Valkyrie on Garrison as well. 250 to 152. I think 3-6 on Search and Destroy. Obviously that's half that's half the score. But I think that 250 to 152 is the biggest actual difference between these two teams across these 4 games.
Yeah, and I think, especially because the frag heavy that we saw Valkyrie in that control, they looked dominant there in those last 3 rounds. I mean, they did not let off the gas whatsoever. They won, like I said, they started it off on an offensive round and they just kept on going. So going from that, where they were in control, they had the domination in terms of lives. You move into this hard point, you think they're going to carry that momentum. Maybe that break had a more of an impact on them than what we would like to think, but they go into this hard point and all of a sudden it's just not there. Yeah, they start out really well. I mean, Nefarious at one point was, I think, 0-5 or 1-5, something like that. I mean, he wasn't really turning it up. And we had mentioned that as well, that he needed to turn up, and he did. He had some killer plays in that map, but the frags were not continuous for Valkyrie. They just trailed off there towards the end. And one of the things too, I just think that the rotations were a little bit better right there for Living Nightmare. I think that one of the things that Living Nightmare did really well on this map, and this is something that we talked about before, is the ability to flank and get players in those positions, because it's not a choke pointing style map. You have that opportunity to kind of leak out and get into those really awkward kind of positions. We saw that happening from Living Nightmare, and they were able to exploit that and really disrupt and disturb those setups for those hard points on Valkyrie, and it worked beautifully. So Living Nightmare, props to them. Yeah, they may not have had the best stat lines going into this thing, but they definitely had solid teamwork, and they just looked really good overall. And if you don't have to have the best stats. We mentioned this before. if you're getting the kills at the right place to be able to affect change within the game, it doesn't matter if you're going, 0.9 or a 1.0 or a 1.2. It doesn't matter. If you're going to 1.38, but your teams are losing every map, who cares? And so props to Living Nightmare. They did a fantastic job, and really, really excited to see how they're going to be playing out through the season, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I probably am, wasn't Living Nightmare a lower seed in this match?
Across a single week, there's been a lot of progress for K7 leagues coming into this, so those kind of estimations can be up and down, right? And either way, this is a very, very hard-fought match. Living Nightmares took it away 100%. If you are a Valkyrie fan, I gotta say it, the dream might be dead, but the Living Nightmare is the one that comes out on top here. But apt analysis and more from my man Brett. Shout out to him. I appreciate you casting with me. I do believe we've reached towards the end of this one. There will be a 10 p.m. game that is me starting a little bit later now, coming in for you guys here soon. I'm FBI Tugboat. You can find me over there on Twitter at FBI_Tugboat. If you enjoyed what you saw and what you heard, my man Brett here, you can find him at Brett FX. That's BRETTFX. Now, there's no spaces or underscores in there, Brett, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha, man. Connie here, the producer. You can find him over there. Connie, Slag? SLAG? Slang, Connie Slang, excuse me, CONNYSLANG. No spaces, no underscores on that. They keep things simple, Brett and Connie do. Appreciate you guys for watching. Shout out to all of our partners. This has been the K7 League. We'll be getting game number 2 started here soon.
Something name is buzzing, call me Ryan Gosling. Hey, go know that they gonna love me more when